pro-union activists and politicians cast police unions as impediments to reform and openly discuss curtailing their collective bargaining power. Two things link all of these developments. First, they involve a long overdue rethinking of the rules around American policing. I don't agree with all of them. I would rather see a world with good, well-regulated police than no police, for instance. And in my view, the City Council acted precipitously in vowing to abolish the Minneapolis Police Department without a full consideration of what comes next. But, as a society, we have asked the police to do too much. To the extent that defund the police means redirect some share of the police budget to social service workers better equipped to handle many of the problems that by default police handle today, I'm all for it. To the extent that it means wantonly reduce police budgets for political reasons, I'm against it. Vindictive, grandstanding policy is almost always bad policy. Second, the protests escalated and spread across the world only after I submitted the manuscript for this book on May 30th, 2020, hence this preface. It's true that the protests did not directly concern surveillance technology, the main subject of my book. But George Floyd's apprehension and murder were recorded on security and cell phone cameras, both of which I discuss in this program. During the protests that followed, cell phone cameras captured police officers assaulting unarmed peaceful protesters and driving SUVs through crowds. In many instances, they shot rounds of non-lethal rubber bullets at journalists. Non-lethal just means they don't kill you. They still injured numerous people, some permanently, simply for engaging in First Amendment-protected activity. Thomas Lane, one of the 4 officers present at Floyd's death, bolstered his motion to have his aiding and abetting charges tossed with transcripts from officers' body-worn camera, body cam footage. The 82 pages of the transcript make for horrific reading. Those transcripts showed that Floyd was, as he said, scared as fuck, pleading with officers, "Please, don't shoot me." He told officers that he couldn't breathe 51 times, at one point saying, "I'll probably just die this way." Without body cams and cell phone cameras, Floyd's death may have gone unnoticed by the wider world. That points to an important benefit to camera footage that I perhaps paid too little attention to in my chapter on the topic. I was mainly concerned with the question of whether being filmed, by body cams or cell phones, improves officer behavior, principally as measured by use of force and other civilian complaints. On that question, the social science is ambiguous. Some studies have found that outfitting officers with body cams results in fewer use-of-force complaints. Others have found that doing so produces no noticeable changes. But an immediate, universal, and objectively observable reduction in use-of-force complaints is neither the sole benefit of body cams nor the only measure by which to judge them. In conjunction with social media, they also publicize bad behavior, and, in so doing, galvanize social and political pressure to stop it. This may ultimately be how body cams drive change, not because police chiefs and other senior officers review footage and decide to change policy, or even because individual officers change their behavior because they know they are being filmed, though of course many might, but because millions of people see something unjust and gruesome and take to the streets to make sure it doesn't happen to someone else. Had I delivered my manuscript just a few weeks later, I would have more strongly emphasized this point. I would also have written more about police use of bulk location data and social media monitoring to surveil protesters. On June 24th, Li Fang reported in The Intercept, which does particularly good work on surveillance tech, that the FBI modified an agreement with Ventel, a firm that aggregates and sells cell phone location data, and signed an expedited agreement to extend its relationship.